Get ready to find your recipe for a successful real estate lifestyle from America's top expert here at Greenlight REI with your host, Lance Edwards.
Hi, everyone. This is Lance Edwards, ApartmentChampions.com, and I've got a special treat. We've got a father-son team we'll speak to just at a transaction. But here's what's special about this. It's the 10-year-old son. 10-year-old young man actually came to our boot camp, graduated with his dad, very sharp young man. More importantly, he's out there actually doing deals. This is his second transaction. So we're speaking to Tony Aberdini and his son, Armand. And so, guys, how are you doing?
Thanks, Lance. Doing well.
Armand, how are you? You doing good, young man?
Yep.
So I was just speaking to them, and they've actually bought a duplex. This is a property that Armand found the duplex, and they just closed on it recently. We're going to talk to him about it. So let me start with, first of all, for both of you, Tony and Armand, what is your guys' previous experience in real estate investing?
So I have, my wife and I, we've invested before in businesses and gas stations and motels, and it was dealing with the employees is what we didn't like. So we're kind of divesting from those assets and getting into apartments where it's, mailbox money as opposed to minimum wage dealing and angry customer situations. So we started in 2016, really, where we had to do a 1031 exchange, and that's where we actually got into it. And then in 2017, we attended a Tony Robbins real estate seminar, or it was a Tony Robbins and I was real estate seminar as a sponsor, and we kind of got into it more and more, and it's been pretty exciting. Armand started with us last year, and we found a property for him in Alabama, and then we went through the numbers games with him and kind of teaching him how to do this. And he was able to secure some financing and bought the house, and here we are.
So Armand, you've already bought a house prior to this duplex, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you, Armand, what is it about real estate that you find interesting?
Mostly the money. Just, I would like to have like my father said, mailbox money. So when I grow up, I don't really have to go and work at places that I don't want to work, but I need to work because I need the money to keep a healthy life.
I love it. 10 years old and you've already got it. That's great. All right, so let's talk about this duplex. This property is in Ohio, and Armand, where do you guys live? What part of the country are you in?
Portland.
Portland, Oregon.
An expensive.
And so
expensive area.
Expensive area. So probably not too many cash flowing properties out in Portland, are there?
There are some, but not many.
So you're looking in Ohio, and how'd you find this duplex in Ohio?
Through an agent.
Through an agent. And what did you like about it?
I saw that a couple years ago it sold for $75,000, even though they were selling at $51,000, and both times they were not occupied. So I'm thinking if we get some renters in there, and we might be able to sell it at higher than $75,000.
So you're looking. So you like the idea that it was vacant. You could fill it up, raise the value, and then sell it down the line.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. So you had an agent that found this one for you, and you got it under contract. Then you guys bought it, and I'm sure did you get Dad's help on buying it? How'd that financing get arranged?
I'm not sure actually.
It was we have lines of credit on our businesses that we open through a local bank.
Right.
And so we basically withdrew money from there and at 6% interest, and we're able to buy the property.
And does it need any work, guys?
Some work. Yesterday my dad told me the basement wall and floor needs to be painted.
And then a deck in the back, and then a bathroom that needs to be painted. Overall, about $800 worth of work, including labor and material, which is we're going to start probably tomorrow doing the actual work.
All right, so a little bit of minor cosmetic stuff, nothing major.
Correct.
Okay. And as far as renting it out, so who are you targeting as your residents? Who you can be renting to?
Section 8.
Section 8.
Armand's looking at Section 8. I'm looking at anybody that has green. And, you know, it's a decent person and decent resident that doesn't cause a lot of problems. So we have a project manager and a property manager, I should say, in Youngstown, Ohio. He's actually the husband of the agent that found this property for us. And he meets the tenants or the residents face to face. And, you know, he kind of looks at them from an ability to pay, vets them, background check, and then we go through. The reason we like Section 8 is because they're already been vetted by Section 8 and the county. And these are folks that are, you know, upstanding citizens and are just down on their luck, and the county's helping them. So for us, it's guaranteed money, and we get good tenants. And if we have other people that come with cash, we'll take that as well.
Sure. Good. All right, so you're sprucing up the property a little bit, just a little bit of cosmetic. You're going to rent out both the units. Now, Armand, once it's occupied, what's the strategy then? What are you going to do with it?
Put it straight on the market and just hope for it to get sold.
Okay, so you're going to put it back on the market. What do you think you're going to ask for it? Do you have an ask price yet?
Between $80,000 and $85,000.
Between $80,000 and $85,000. So you bought it for $51,000, is that right?
One.
Okay, so if you sell it for $81,000, you get $30,000 profit. All right?
Yes.
So what are you going to do 10 years old with $30,000 profit?
I'm going to take a little bit of it out, spend it, play with it. The rest, I'm probably going to reinvest in real estate.
You're going to do it? You're going to reinvest and buy another building?
Yes.
Very smart. There you go, a fourplex. I want you doubling every 2 months. How about that? Let's get you go from a house to a duplex to a fourplex to an eightplex. I think you're on a roll, but you're exactly right. That's what you want to do. You want to take that $30,000 and roll it over into another building. Now, your dad told me that you also were planning on you decided you need a bigger iPhone to continue your real estate business. Is this true?
Exactly.
What kind of iPhone are you going to get?
10, hopefully.
Well, I'm sorry. What was that?
iPhone 10.
A 10. All right.
Yeah, it's the iPhone X. It's a bigger screen so you can see the spreadsheet larger. At least that's what it says.
Okay. All right. So, so you're on your way. You've got a house you've bought. Now you've moved up to small apartments, a duplex. Here's a question, and I'm so proud of you, Armand. Here's a question I'm going to put to you, and then Tony, I'll ask you the same question as well. So, Armand, having gone through this transaction, with your dad's help, you're 10 years old. What's the single most important thing you've learned in this process?
When you're doing deals, don't hesitate. Be strict on how much money you want to get. If people are negotiating, then tell them, this is the lowest I'll take, nothing beyond that. If you want the property, buy it. If you don't want it, I'll go find someone else.
I love it. just beautiful. Tony, you're giving a great gift to your son here. Just a phenomenal gift. So what's the single most important thing you've learned in this process you'd like to be willing to share with others listening?
Every deal is different. No matter how much experience you bring in, every deal has its own nuances, and you're better off spending an extra hour or so looking at numbers and looking at the condition, and looking at how those conditions are going to be remedied, if it does need to be remedied cosmetically or structurally, and actually be able to find the people that are reliable enough to be able to do the work and not have to go back and keep the property for a few months and then fix it. So what I'm trying to say is basically, let's figure out exactly what the issues are, if there are any issues, and let's figure out how we're going to solve those before you close the transaction. So once the transaction is closed, you have your people in there doing the cosmetic work or structural work to fix it. That way it reduces the time to market for the tenants that come in. Plus it gives tenants or potential residents a cleaner, much rosier look at the property, as opposed to, hey, well, you just got to paint here and we're going to paint there. It's a better presentation for the residents.
Very good.
So
Very good.
Cash flowing faster.
Very good. Well, I think it's fabulous what you're doing for Armand. Did he come about this naturally? How did he? I mean, he's 10 years old. How did he get to this point?
To be honest with you, well, my wife and I talk a lot about real estate, in front of the kids. Every business adventure we do, we kind of involve the kids. And like Armand writes our checks. He does a lot of the organization of the bills. So every week he'll bring the bills home from the mailbox, open it up and sort it and put it inside the different envelopes for different businesses. And so we've been getting him involved in doing that kind of work to be, to kind of teach him ahead of time, because they don't teach you any of the stuff at school. So these are the extra skills that kind of, you just can't buy with any extra after hours classes. So we've been teaching him this, and then we kind of came across one that was $20,000, well, compared to, $300,000 median house in Oregon or in Portland, $21,000 house is pretty cheap. And he saw that and he liked it. And in fact, the first house we bought, it was at $25,000. We bought it for $20,000. With closing costs came out about $21,000. And, he's got a taste of green. He's making approximately $477 a month from his, net operating income from that property in Alabama. And, he's, after that, all I have to do is introduce him to one or two. And then, he's a pretty sharp kid. And even though we still discuss the different nuances around properties and why one property is good versus the other, I think he's going to be just fine in the next few years.
Oh, I'm confident of that. So, you guys are a great team. Armand, I'm really super proud of you. For everyone to know that, it was just recently that they both graduated from Small Department School boot camp. I know for a fact, Armand, you're our youngest graduate. Now you're our youngest small apartment owner. And I think what you're doing is just fabulous. And I want to recap it for everyone. So they're living. Let's check this out. They're living in Oregon. They're buying properties in other states. They have a team in place. Got other people's money. In this case, lines of credit. But if you look at what Armand did, he got his private investor as his dad, who got it from a line of credit itself, third-party money. And they're going out and doing it, just following the system. So I would say for everyone listening that hasn't yet done your first deal, you might ask yourself, what's your excuse? Because here we have a 10-year-old young man that's just knocking it out of the park. I'm confident we're going to have the continuation of these stories. We're going to hear more and more as these deals just get bigger and bigger for Armand and his dad, Tony. Great job, young man. I'm really super proud of you. Great job.
Hey, Lance, finally, my whole goal with Armand was that he wants an Alfa Romeo. So when he's 16, he can have one with his own money without having to dip into our pockets and pay for the gas.
So you've got selfish motivations behind this too, Tony. It's just
that is true.
Make him self-sufficient. All right. So everyone, follow the 10-year-old's advice. Just do it. Just go out and do it. Follow the system. Get involved. With that, that's Lance Edwards, and talk to you next time with our next batch of Apartment Champions. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
You've been listening to The Expert, with Lance Edwards. Let us now blatantly and shamelessly bribe you toward creating your own real estate lifestyle by offering you a whole bunch of free stuff. Go to greenlightreinvesting.com and get you some free stuff and this session's show notes.